Good morning, everyone. Well, it's good morning in the UK. In New Zealand, it's maybe the middle of the night, and around the world, you're all at different times. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Well, I'm here to do the end of July check-in. I'm doing this video in two parts. I'm going to do this check-in at the beginning, and then if you want to catch up with how I'm doing and all of that, I'm going to put that on the end. So for those of you that are watching for my cash stuffing, you can watch the beginning, and then those of you that want to catch up with me at the end, come on and keep watching. Right, so I'm a bit breathless. I've been running around this afternoon because I think it is afternoon. I've actually been in bed all morning. I've had my breakfast in bed. I've watched, what was it called? Paris is Down, I think it's called. It was on Prime. My mum has Prime, so I've been watching some series on there, and this was a 6 or 7 part. I started watching yesterday, couldn't stop watching it, wanted to know what happened. Anyway, that was really good. I had to stop watching a couple of times because it was a bit tense. Every episode left you hanging, so I don't know how we used to watch series in the old days when we used to have to wait a week. Over binge watching. So I'm checking in for July. It's about the 17th of August, maybe. I'm a bit late. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, here we go. I'm just going to check that I'm in Zoom. Okay, so it's good I check because I'm going to push you up. There we go. So I think I've checked in most of July. I definitely remember doing Texas, iCloud, mortgage, credit card fee, YouTube. And so I think I left it at YouTube here. So where there's blanks in the day, it's either a no spend or my mum bought coffee and cake or lunch. I haven't spent that much money because I've had a lot of outgoings in terms of other things, and I decided to pull out some money from New Zealand to pay my mum back. She was stressing about her credit card, so I actually thought I'd only given her £1,000, but I actually gave her £1,500 for my trip to Japan. I'm really excited about that. I'm a bit anxious about travelling from the UK. I've done it so many times from New Zealand that I don't get anxious. I know what I'm doing. I know where to go. But this time I'm going from the UK. I'm going on I haven't booked the train yet because I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. But I've booked my accommodation in London because my flight leaves at 9 in the morning. So I need to be there very early in the morning to check in. I've got my travel insurance sorted, which I paid my mum back for. And I've, the kids all know that I'm coming, so that's really good. Anyway, I still haven't paid my sister back, but I will pay her back as soon as I get paid. So I started my new job on Wednesday. I did almost a full shift Wednesday and then absolutely full shift on Thursday. There were 2 of us on duty and it was chaos. And I'm supposed to be on my own on the ward once I've done my orientation. So I'm hoping to put some things in place to make it a bit easier, but I'm going to be working as a specialist mental health nurse on a specialist dementia unit. And it's a unit where there's lots of behavioural and psychological symptoms of dementia, lots of physical issues, and it's attached to the big house. So I'm actually really grateful that I will be based in the smaller unit because there's 18 residents' names to learn all about, whereas in the whole house, if I was to work between the two, I would have to learn 64 names and lots of things. So yes, I'm really keen to get going. And next week, because it's Sunday today, I'm working next Tuesday, Wednesday. If I find that too hard to do 2 days together, I'm going to split them because they're 12-hour shifts and you get 1 hour break that you can split. So, yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the budget. So the actual rent that came in was the same as was $2,039.08 was predicted, but I actually got in $2,548.85. I think that's because there was 5 weeks in the month, and the rollover was $1,668.68. And so that total that I got in was $4,217.53. Now at the moment I'm working in dollars, but I've just realised that I'm going to be paid in pounds. So I'm not sure how to work out the budget from there, but I'll come up with something. So my mortgage came out, my interest came out, the phone came out, the mortgage interest. That was all as predicted. Storage came out, iCloud, YouTube, Spotify. I've now cancelled my Spotify because I get YouTube music for free. Anyway, a YouTube watcher, Vicky, suggested that I cancel Spotify because I get YouTube. So that's going to save me nearly $19 a month. My phone still charged me an extra $12.35. And I think I've talked about these extra charges. And then I topped up my phone by $20 because I needed to get a code for my banking. And yeah, so I had to turn my phone off airplane mode for a few seconds to get a text, to then put the number in to turn it off again. So I'm hoping that $20 didn't run out all in one go. But actually I've done that twice now. So I'm hoping that it doesn't have time to sort of work out. It just has time to receive a text, which is great. So it means I don't have to ring them and put in a overseas phone number with the banking system, because I can only ring between certain hours and the time difference and all of that. But anyway, the $20 top up worked. It got me a code for my banking twice. So my actual bills that came out last month were $2,166.39, which left me with $2,051.14. I've done no challenges because I haven't been working. My insurance and rates have been accounted for within this budget, and that was $680. And that left me with a $1,371.14 rollover, which I was quite pleased about. So these are some of the notes which I think I've gone through. Job starting there on the 13th and 8th, which it did. I took out $2,000 from New Zealand, which cost me $4,600. No, I took out £2,000, which cost me $4,601.43. So I'm in debt to myself, $13,282.84. That's a debt that I've had since I went to Japan. Paid for Japan in about January, which I'm hoping this year I can pay back. And I did take out another extra £500 to keep me going, because I'd run out again and I won't get paid. Well, I didn't know when I would get paid for working, and my contract now has come through. After doing 2 shifts, I have a contract now, and I get paid on the last Friday of the month, so I'll still need to live, so I got that out. And once I get paid, I'm going to put, I've worked it out, about, if I do 2 shifts a week, I'll roughly get £1,800 a month, and I'm going to put £1,000 of that back into New Zealand each month, and then live on £800, which will pay my mum and pay for my crafting and pay for petrol and all those sort of things. And I'm hoping to then do lots of saving challenges. I haven't saved anything again to go to Japan, so I'm hoping I get at least 7 weeks in of work before I go, so I can have a little bit of spending money. Yeah, so July was a very expensive month because I haven't written down all the things in here that were extras, and this rollover is probably gone. I didn't do my weekly check-in. I haven't done a monthly tracker. Haven't evaluated any goals, but I have started with my August budget. My mortgage has already come out for once, so my interest on my mortgage has gone up to $73.08, so that's an extra $5 a fortnight. And we are today the 17th, so we've already done quite a few months. I worked on Wednesday from 8:30 till 7, and on Wednesday that was, and then I worked here from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. And I tell you what, that shift went by in a brief second. I have received rent, which was $990. See, I'm getting confused already. And something pence. They actually did an inspection and my cooker's not working very well, so I have a friend going in this weekend to have a look at it, and I might need to buy a second-hand cooker to replace the one that's there. So, but I sort of knew that. So I've got iCloud. It doesn't seem to be here, but I think iCloud comes out somewhere. YouTube's in there, $17.99. My storage comes out as usual. It's set up as automatic payment. So let's have a look and see when the iCloud storage comes out. So the 21st. So here. Oh, it's there. Look, iCloud comes out. So I've got not many bills anymore, but I do know in September my rates come out. And I do know in November I need about $3,500 for my insurances to come out. But hopefully I can have at least put a couple of payments across to my bank. But I realise that now paying money back to, because it's taken me so long to get a job, that paying that money back to myself will take probably half of next year to do. And I'm trying not to worry about it. Anyway, my August budget is now mortgage, interest, phone, mortgage, interest, storage, iCloud, YouTube, and my mum. I've put $250 a month, but she's happy with $100. Oh, I've put $250 a month in dollars because I'm going to pay her £100 a month. So the challenges are going to be in pounds, and my income's going to go in as dollars over here. And I've put that I'm going to put $1,000 of my wages across to New Zealand, but it will actually probably be two because it depends on how much I earn. So I'm constantly going to have to keep changing money. But roughly, leftovers should be of my rollover, the wages that I put in, which will be, this will be about £500. And then this, which is my rent, hopefully if the cooker's not taken out, I should see a rollover of $1,564, which again will just stay in the bank. So that's my budget. I did promise you all, my nephew made me this as a dice, and the dices used to come through here. But what I've done is I've got this is a MDF die cutout in my mum's stash. I've painted it, and the pigeons are fighting again. I've painted it to stop the dice rolling out, and it works really well. So I thought I'd bring it on. Thank you, my nephew, for making this for me. It's a 3D dice tower, and we're going to see how it works. So I've got a few dices here, and I love the sound that it makes. So here we go. And every time it comes out, so it hits here and then comes out perfectly. Oh, that one didn't. Oh, isn't that a lovely sound though? Lovely sound. Those of you that know dice towers, it's a lovely sound. So most of the time, it used to come out of this side all the time, but it seems to be popping out of here a bit. But most of the time it's working really well. So I'm really pleased with that. This will be my dice tower for my games. And it works really well. So it seems to be occasionally popping out of here, but maybe I can add something here at some point, but because was mainly this side. So yeah, I did this. So yes, so I will end the catch up on my budget here. I will check in at the end of August. So I'll do an August check-in, and I'll finish here for those people who are interested in my cash stuffing. And I'm really excited about playing some games and doing some real money cash stuffing and getting out some real pounds and being able to put some money back into my New Zealand account. That will be so exciting. And also giving my mum some money. That will be really good. So I'll see you next time. I'll see you in 1 second. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, my things have arrived from New Zealand. well, some of them, all of them have come that I put in the boxes. I've got a bedroom. I had a bed full of clothes that I've managed to put away. I've done a couple of projects which I would like to share with you. So I've done the Graphic 45 Christmas album so far. And this is a kit that I've had for a very long time. Should put it down, but yeah. So this is using a kit which comes. So that was really good. That was about a week of on and off working. And then I've just finished another one, which was a Graphic 45, this one. And unfortunately, I did extra bits and pieces and now it won't shut properly. So I've had to take some of the extra bits out. So we've got a 2-flap. And then this comes over and then you've got 2 of these. So I've actually papered up both sides of these, which has made it a lot bigger. And then in these, I've actually put some extra tags and bits and pieces. So that's made it really thick. So I'm going to probably make another little one because my mum's going to get this one. She loves Art Deco stuff, and this is 1920s. Isn't it beautiful? I love this paper. Reminds me of the William Morris papers. It might even be a William Morris paper. So yeah, so I've done those. Mum and I have made a lot of Christmas cards. We're actually making junk journals at the moment. Out of paper bags, and I'm now making Christmas journals out of kits that I made for class and didn't have, and so Mum and I've got 9 of those to make for the craft fair in November. We still haven't heard if it's happening, so yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff for Christmas if it doesn't. So where am I at? My mood is really low today. I struggled to get out of bed this morning. My mum has gone to my brother's today and she asked if I wanted to go and I said no, I'll have a day to myself, so that's really nice. But every day I'm struggling to get out of bed. Work has helped. I have felt purpose again. The staff have been really nice. The lead nurse that interviewed me left on Friday, so I was only there a couple of days before she left. They have interviewed and offered someone else the position, but I'm not sure when they're starting. They've got a lot of issues with hygiene and they failed a few inspections. Yeah, they're finding it really hard to find staff, so they employ people from overseas. And a lot of the staff have only been there 3 months in the country and 3 months at work. So I think there might be a bit of a language barrier going on and a miscommunication. So they've put lots of training in for the staff. And they seem really like they want to really sort it out. And I'm going to be working on the specialist dementia unit that has the behavioural and psychological symptoms of dementia, and wanderers and shouters. So if you work in mental health, you'll know that it's a very hard space to work in when someone's got dementia and they've got issues with frustration, anger, agitation, hallucinating, screaming because they can't speak, so they have to communicate somehow. I really enjoy it. I find it really rewarding when I have people that are settled, people that are well fed, and the food, oh my goodness, they have a la carte menu. It's amazing. The other day they had 2 great big trifles delivered to the ward that look stunning. Every day they have full English breakfast, they have morning tea, they have full lunch, they have afternoon tea, and then they have sort of either an omelette with soup for supper, and then at night with the evening drink they also have a sandwich that they can eat. And oh my goodness, and the staff are so patient. The floor is a mess. Imagine a toddler learning to eat with their hands. So a lot of the some of the clients have finger foods because they don't like to be fed but won't eat with a knife and fork. And so you can imagine how the floor looks, and these staff just clean up. It's just phenomenal how they are. They have cleaners in that work really hard to keep the unit clean. It doesn't smell. Some units that you go into absolutely stink, and it's disgusting because it doesn't need to be that way. This unit doesn't smell. So I'm shadowing at the moment, but I will be the qualified nurse on the shift, and I will be responsible for the medical treatments, so to speak. So the medications and looking after the agitations, looking after the skin issues and those sort of things. And on Thursday there were 2 of us plus a nurse that's qualified but waiting for her PIN. She was shadowing, learning lots of things, and there were 3 of us, and we did not stop. Yeah, that was one hell of a shift, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Woke up the next day with a massive migraine, was in and out of bed all day, and then yesterday felt really knocked off from the migraine. Today heaps better. So I think perhaps my mood is a bit low because I took quite a lot of pain relief on Friday, and yeah, so, but anyway, I'm over that. What else is going on? So money wise is still a worry, but at least I've started work. I'm going for a walk today. It's beautiful sunshine. Suppose yesterday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were all supposed to be 28 degrees. Friday was quite warm, but it became overcast. So yeah, the sun wasn't around, so it was quite humid, but there was a breeze. Yesterday was really overcast, quite cool in the morning. The sun came out in the afternoon, but I think it only got to about 24. And today actually does feel like it could get a bit hotter, but it's midday, and yes, it's warm, but it's not 28 degrees. So the weather has been, we're in a drought now because it hasn't rained for so long. So Mum says she's not known a summer that hasn't rained for ages like this. It's really funny, the days they say are going to be sunny and then they're quite overcast, but Portugal is on fire. Devastating fires in Portugal and lots of Europe, France. There's fires in Canada for the summers. There's fires, I think there's been a couple of fires there's been a fire in Edinburgh, but lots of fires everywhere. And apparently yesterday might have had smoke from Portugal. And also when the wind changes and it's warm, we get dust from the Sahara Desert. And I'd forgotten about that. I remember that as a kid. Oh, we're going to get sand from the Sahara Desert. So last week my eyes, I had to put allergy eye drops in. I had to take my allergy pills. This week it's a lot better, but yeah, they are expecting the air quality to drop because of fires in Europe, and also the Sahara Desert sand is this time of year. I did say to Mum about going up to Eden Valley Dams, because when the dam is really, really low, you can see the town. Well, it was a village that was flooded for the dam to be built. And in drought, you can sometimes see it. Hopefully we'll get there next week, perhaps. It won't rain. It's not going to rain. Apparently next week's not going to rain. So we're going to get some nice weather. 20 minutes to drive to work, which is really nice. And it's all country driving. England has this big road works going on. So they're hoping to get all the roads all resurfaced. So lots of roads have closed. You have to do diversions everywhere. And then if it's not closed and hasn't been done, it's full of potholes. So you have to be a bit careful. A lot of the road that I drive on floods in the winter, so I'll have to go the long way around. But a lot of the main roads now are being done, so it should be a bit better this winter. I really miss New Zealand still. I've had lots of dreams recently about the house that I had with my ex-partner. I'm still really finding that's a struggle, finding the end of that relationship, which will be, so our separation date is 2 years in November, but we actually separated properly in April. So it's over a year now, and I'm still really struggling with it. I get really upset. I miss the house. I miss our lifestyle. I miss her. Yeah, it's really hard. And I think one of the things about being in Leinster is that I grew up here, triggers here, and lots of memories of doing things as a kid that I absolutely loved, and it was part of who I am and part of what made me. There are so many awesome memories here that I just, yeah, I other than the trauma that happened to me, I grew up in the most loving environment because I had really good auntie and uncle, and well, 2 aunties and uncles that weren't related, Auntie Wynne and Auntie Welch and Uncle Bill. I had Gran and Grandad who were good. They were very Victorian. Children should be seen and not heard, but they did love us, and my mum did her best. Yeah, she worked really hard to give us what we needed. I had such good friends here. Growing up, I was a tomboy. A lot of them I don't know. I mean, I've been gone from here 32 years, so I don't really. And Mum always says, "Oh, you remember that?" I go, "No." Most of my friends are in Lowestoft. Hello, if you're here. Yeah, because I haven't had any money, I haven't made any plans to go and see anybody that I know. Haven't had any plans to go on train trips or anything. But once I get some money, I'm hoping to do a few train trips to see people. My auntie, Bryony, I used to babysit the kids, and the kids now. I mean, my one cousin has 4 children, and they're all mostly grown up. It's really funny. I used to babysit them. Working where I'm working in Lions Hall, I spent a lot of time in Kinkton as growing up, and I also worked in the community mental health team here in Leinster, so Kinkton was part of my patch. So yeah, there's lots of good memories here, not so many good, some bad memories here, and so there's lots of triggers, not just bad ones but good ones too. And you know, that nostalgia stuff, you know, I sort of made a really nice childhood for myself. I was really independent and played football and was quite a tomboy and had loads of fun. And then once I hit teenage years, it got a bit more complicated. Boyfriends and that, you know, I'm gay. Didn't really work out. Yeah, so it's been interesting, and my mood's been really low because of the grief leaving New Zealand and the grief having that relationship fail that was so important to me, and then starting medication that's helped. But I think there's this process that I'm working slowly through and being patient with, and yeah, it's I know that it will take time. I know there's no words or things I can do to make it better other than look after my health, look after me, do things that I like, and just sit with the triggers, you know, allow them. I think the thing is it's about allowing yourself, isn't it, to be in that grief, be in those triggers, and then not let them change who you are. I think one of the big things about the relationship ending is that I am going back to who I am, and I lost myself in that relationship completely. And my values are coming back, and the way I am is better, I think, for that relationship, but also who I am is also better for being more authentic to myself and living my authentic life rather than our authentic life. I think relationships are really hard to stay who you are within them, and when you have someone who needs you because they have more needs, and I'm someone that will give up everything to help other people, yeah, you do lose yourself a bit. I'm rambling on now, and I notice the camera says 15 minutes. That's interesting. Anyway, so I'm doing okay. I miss my friends. Hi. I'm hoping that when I start to earn some money, that I can start going and seeing people in the new year, because I'm going to Japan for 5 weeks. That's going to make things hard, but hopefully things will get a bit better. So thanks for coming along on my journey. I'm sorry I've not done any vlogging, but I've just been a mess. Hoping maybe one day to do that. I watch other people's vlogs and think they're amazing. They've got all these fancy cameras and things, and yeah. Anyway, I might even do some craft videos. You never know. I'm getting in that mood. I want to record what I'm making. So watch this space. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening to me. I love you all. And I miss my friends and I miss you, and hoping to find my feet, find my purpose again in work, and Mum is driving again, so this is really good news. She's doing much better. So see you next time. Bye.